Magandang buhay mga kababayan ko. Ang ating topic ngayon ay paano ba natin may stop yung corruption na yan sa ating ahensya ng gobyerno. But let us first see the success stories of Japan and Amerika, kung paano po ba nila kino-curb ang public works corruption. Sa Amerika po, nag-i-implement po sila ng number one, federal law, kung saan ang FCPA, meaning Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, and the False Claims Act prohibit bribery and false claims in government contracting. Number two, they have an independent oversight agencies like the Government Accountability Office or GAO. They have the Office of Inspector General OIG and the Federal Bureau of Investigation to investigate and prosecute corruption. May mga counterpart po tayo niyan, which is the NBI in our country and the Commission on Audit. Ang Inspector General, ewan ko kung ito ang equivalent ng SOLGEN natin. Sa transparency and disclosure, they have laws like the Freedom of Information na meron din tayo na ito ay itinalaga ni President Duterte sa kanyang time. FOI and the Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act, FFATA, which promote transparency in U.S. government contracting. And like the Japan procedure to curb corruption, meron din silang whistleblower protection. The laws like the Whistleblower Protection Act and the False Claims Act protect whistleblowers who report corruption or irregularities. And sunod po ay contractor vetting. Government agencies conduct thorough vetting of contractors to ensure they have a good track record and are not debarred or suspended. Meron din tayong vetting, but I don't know how strict it is as regards its implementation and if there is a law to the vetting process in the Philippines. We also have contract management na ang mga US agencies na ito ay nag-i-implement ng robust contract management practices, including monitoring and oversight to prevent corruption. And the last is that they have state and local laws which have their own laws and regulation to prevent corruption in public works project. Kasi nga, mga state sila eh. Like, State of California, they can create their own laws kasi federal form of government nga sila. So, tingnan po natin, bakit ang Japan ay wala ring mga ganyang corruption at nakukurb din nila ang kanilang public works. So, like US, they have strict laws and regulation like anti-bribery law and Public Procurement Act to prevent corruption. Meron din tayo nito eh. Kaya lang, walang pumipiyok kasi kung ikaw ay contractor, takot ka rin na hindi mang bribe kaya hindi ka makakakuha ng inyong contract agreement. Kaya siguro i-revisit lang ito ni Senator Marcoleta in creating the legislation to amend the existing laws that we have on Anti-Bribery and Public Procurement Act. Kasi din, napakahaba ng proseso ng bidding natin na sa pagkahaba-haba kunyari ay hindi rin na-implement within the year sa budget allocation na yan. So, tingnan natin, i-balance natin ang strictness and yung abbreviation ng steps na kung pwede, hindi rin mahabang mahaba na natatapos na ang taon, hindi pa rin na-implement ang project. And then, second is they have also independent oversight bodies like USA. They have agencies like the Board of Audit and the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism's internal audit divisions monitor public works projects. So meron tayo yung Board of Audit, maybe ito yung COA natin, at ang yung Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, ito yung DPWH. They also have transparency and disclosure. Japan promotes transparency in public works projects through measures like public disclosure of project information and bidding processes. Ewan ko kasi parang may ano din tayo niyan eh. Pinapublicize din kung sino kunyari yung nanalo sa bidding. Pero luto na eh. Yun ang marami tayong magagandang batas pero hindi sinusunod at niluluto na doon sa DPWH. They also have a whistleblower protection law to protect whistleblowers who report corruption or irregularities in public works and projects in Japan. Japan has a system to evaluate and qualify contractors for public works projects, ensuring only capable and trustworthy contractors being awarded with the projects. They have a collaboration with law enforcement. So, bukod po sa evaluations or mga ginagawa ng audit nila, meron din po silang coordination with the law enforcement. Tayo may regional tripartite council din tayo before na i-implement eh. Kaya nga mamaya, after this, i-revisit nga natin, bakit hindi nakita ito? Hindi ko talaga ubos maisip because I had been in the government for 27 years. At hindi ko ubos maisip, bakit hindi nakita na bumabalik-balik yung mga projects na yan on the same area or spot at na bigyan na ng kapirahan nung mga unang taon at bakit ibinabalik at hindi nakikita ito kasi supposedly di ba may comparative ano yan eh reporting. Now, public awareness and education. Japan promotes public awareness and education on the importance of transparency and accountability in public works project. Ngayon, meron po ako isang vlog. Tingnan nyo yan sa baba. Eh, bakit meron mga tracking mechanism si President Duterte noon na na-address kung nasaang level na po ang progress ng isang project. Like, we had geotagging technology. Tayo po sa time ni Secretary Villar ay naggawa ng geotagging ang satellite photography to track project progress and verify existence. Infratrack system. Nag-implement tayo sa monitoring system like Infratrack to improve transparency and accountability in project implementation. Bakit po sa time ni Marcos ay in-stop po itong practices na to? We also have contractor qualification and performance. Mayroon tayong batas na yan. Bakit hindi ito na i-implement ng maayos? Ito yung strict pre-qualification. We ensure that our contractors meet strict pre-qualification criteria including good track record and technical capability. Ang tanong ko po, kasi kunyari nga, pinahihiram ko, ano po ba ang dapat tingnan ng Senado ngayon to penalize these big contractors who are lending their licenses to subcontractors? Dapat yun ang i-revisit na hindi pwedeng i-download yon sa mga pipitsugin na contractors. Ginagamit lang ang kanilang license. Sunod, how often ba magkakaroon ng performance evaluation? At sino yung magpe-performance evaluation? Of course, sa executive department, nandiyan yung DPWH. Siguro meron din taga NEDA, di ba? Kung nasaan na yung progress ng report na yan to represent the executive department. Meron din, kung ikaw ang representative sa Congress, sa distrito na yan, dapat meron kayong quarterly evaluation. Tapos, ang aking suggestion ay siguro yung mga local mayors na kung saan doon lagay ang project na yan, dapat kasama siya sa regional council. And of course, the barangay captain and its first councilor to be in that audit quarterly or every month or sa progress na yan or every 2 months para man lang alam ng lahat ng tao and maybe somebody from the private sector na random hindi permanenteng member ay sumasama sa pag-o-audit para hindi rin nasusuhulan. At paano ba i-protect yung mga member na yan na hindi natatakot sa congressman at senador na nandyan kasama sa timely or regular audit na gagawin. So, ayan. Ang ating contractors pre-qualification, meron din tayo niyan. Criteria, good track record, and technical capability. At of course, ang performance evaluation, how often would you evaluate them? Kasi yun yung sinasabi ko last time, si President Duterte ay sumasama kay Secretary Villar at directors ng DPWH kung saan yung project meron. Kaya nga hindi ko maintindihan, halimbawa doon sa isang project na kunyari na ilagay na ito ng 2023 tapos ilalagay naman sa 2024, paanong hindi ito alam ng Congress? Lalo na kung yung congressman ay siyang nag-start ng 2022, 2023, 2024. Di ba alam mo kung anong areas ito at bakit hindi mo alam na meron na naman bago? Ang problema pa dyan, ikaw yung nilalagay mo sa ibang areas na kung saan doon ka nanalo. Yung halimbawa sa Nagilian, ilalagay mo sa Bawang or Bawang to Nagilian. Di ba? Parang paano ba natin masasabihan? Ayan. Accountability and investigation. Sa time ni President Duterte, may 888 tayo. So, ang task force na yan, sa accountability and investigation, dapat i-create yan at hindi palagi. Kasi, yun nga, masusuhulan, matatakot na naman. So, dapat may may rigudon. Kada regular audits. Okay. So, sa safety nets, hindi ko rin naintindihan, ikaw na taga-commission and audit, ikaw na taga-DBM, paano mo inapprovean yung kabudgetan? Hindi mo ba yan nakita or ng mga staff mo na meron dati ng 2023 at doon pa rin at parehong place, parehong kilometers, dinagdagan lang ng budget? Paanong hindi mo ito nakita? Hindi ko, kaya nga sabi ko, hindi man, parang imposible man yan na hindi makita. And the Office of the President, di ba may mga evaluators ka sa bill na napas na? So, hindi mo man lang bakunin ang unang 2023 or 2024 na budget at tingnan ano bang mga projects ng area na to. Hindi pa ba ito na tackle noon? Hindi pa ba nabigyan ng kapirahan last time? So, tingnan po natin ang Code of Conduct natin, i-revisit po natin yan sa Legislative and Policy Framework sa Government Procurement Reform Act na ibabalance po ang efficiency, economy, and effectiveness ng program, yung tatlong is na yan. Thank you sa pakikinig. Parang nadidisturb lang talaga ako na bakit parang imposible naman na talagang wala bang nakakita. Yung last touch nga, yung COA, parang naiimposiblihan man ako na hindi mo nakita yan. Hindi naman annual ang rego dun ng auditors. Paanong hindi mo nakita yan before? Diba? At saka sa turnover ng auditors, diba? Binibigay yan sa succeeding auditor kung ano yung mga pending projects na paano ba yun? Hindi ko maintindihan talaga. So, I think lahat ng stakeholders sa areas ay kasama pero wala dapat isang permanenteng membro para hindi nasusuhulan ng congressman. Mas mabuti nga, meron ngang party dyan na opposition so that they will be able to give suggestions and recommendation in order to effectively implement the project. Thank you for listening. Pasensya na po kayo at ako'y mahaba-haba po ito. And I think every one of us should come up with solutions on how to help our government be more effective and efficient after ng administration na to. So at least man lang sa 2028, naka-in place na po yung mga safety nets in order to safeguard our budget. Parang wala na po tayong magagawa yata for this year. 2026 na ang pinag-uusapan. So 2027, I don't think a law will be passed this to expediently address this current corruption. Thank you.